is one of the new jewels of the NFL, no doubt, as you get a look inside U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis. It can certainly get loud inside this building. And just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gordon alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. Their 7th-year quarterback from TCU bringing him onto the field. That's the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. He finds an opening past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. The first play from scrimmage? Some of these people haven't even taken their seat.
That's what is commonly known as a fast start. That's what my horse racing friends would say. They caught a flyer out of the gate, and guess what? They're in the lead now.
No back out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or 2 free.
First carry now for the rookie, Dalvin Cook. Some fancy footwork, but not much room to operate. Just up past the 25 and no further. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They run it again with Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Adam Jones is a beguiling mix of talent and attitude. And put it all together, you get a terrific corner. 2015 Pro Bowler, and earlier in his career was an outstanding punt returner as well. You name it, Adam Jones could do it out on the corner.
3rd down, Dalvin Cook. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And it's taken in at the 9. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengal offense on their way out as we look at the playoff race in the AFC. As of this moment, as pretty much everyone knows, they sit alone in that top spot, but nothing is guaranteed. They haven't even clinched the playoffs, so a good start, but a long way to go.
And you know, a blunt veteran inside their locker room has stood up at one point or another and said, you know all this means nothing so far. We've got to cover this, get it done. What do we want to be? It's like winning a title in August, right, in preseason. Doesn't count. Let's go ahead and get this thing done.
Dalton throwing on second down. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch. Now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now out comes Minnesota as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you. Whether slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
It came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. On second down, Cook. And he'll get this one up to the 26. 1 yard, the official pickup there, so it's going to set up 3rd and 9.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down, and you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
First and 10 for Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice first down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down. So 2nd and 10 here. To throw again. Dalton. This is Cobb with a catch right side. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
3rd and 2 for Dalton. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Eric Kendricks coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. They were able to win last week despite him being sacked 4 times. They might need to tighten the reins a little bit, or this one may not end in another victory.
You're right about that. They can't count on just winning the game no matter what happens. They can't let the accumulation of hits and harassment in the pocket get to their quarterback. Got to stop that, give him clean lanes to throw the football in order to have a better chance to win.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
And this is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
A 2nd down throw for Bridgewater. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you call it a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Around the NFL, a game going on in Washington. And the Redskins there out to an early lead. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. This is fielded at the 27. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it was real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
And on 2nd and 10 now. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. Brought in here by Tyler Eifert. And he'll be knocked down sideways. The numbers for Eifert in that game last week. 5 catches, 68 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon.
Offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 1st down.
1st and 15 here behind the chains. Passing, it's Dalton. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. This will be Dalton again. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Had to get in there and knock another one away. I think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder.
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm is going forward. Incomplete pass.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And Eifert has it. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Give him 30 yards there. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy's disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
Caught left side by Cobb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag. Because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
He's got some space.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard, his 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And the Vikings now heading on to the field.
Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
A second down throw for Bridgewater. And his throw here's incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
The Vikings on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10.
Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. So 1 quarter in the books on a cold December afternoon. 14-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this, as they take over following the punt with a 1st and 10. The drive starts with a handoff to Bernard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. Here's Dalton. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and they're going to have a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The Bengals on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith.
Well, if you go by the numbers, you'll find as the temperature goes down, so does the passing efficiency. And now that we're in December, even the routine throws are going to be harder for the quarterbacks. And this one, it winds up getting picked off.
We remind you that coming up later tonight, this is going to be a good one. The Cowboys and the Raiders going at it in the East Bay.
Oh, that's old school right there.
Old school indeed. Then Monday night, another good late season matchup. The Falcons and the Buccaneers from Tampa to wrap up Week 15.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive... And it's a fumble! And the Bengals grab it. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. The 40. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
All right, let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. On the screen, Bernard. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Dalton, 1st and 10. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Again, here's Bernard. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals add on to their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for him. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Handoff comes to Cook. Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet, see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Cobb. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Now, Bengals on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. To throw here, Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they run successful.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Let's go. Move 58. Move 58.
Again, it's Cook. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, it wasn't much of a gain, but we're getting near the 2-minute warning, so maybe they just want to get to that point, regroup, and decide what they want to do the rest of the half.
Throwing is Bridgewater. And they get to Bridgewater. Bridgewater taken down on the end zone for a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger. And this time, it cost him 2 points.
Here's A.J. Green as he gets set to go again on offense. Second quarter here, he has only one catch, but they have the lead. You got to think, though, he's going to be more involved at some point.
That's what you would expect, but sometimes what defenses do to take away a player of his magnitude, it costs them in other areas. And right now, with them losing, they may have to change their focus, and maybe he will open up a little bit more as the game goes on.
Well, so far, just the single catch.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
And he takes it all the way down to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. 67 yards.
The best passing attacks in the NFL often incorporate the guys out of the backfield catching the football. And that's what we just got on that play. As a primary receiver, not always just a check down, not always a safety valve. Sometimes they just get it to him right away because they have the matchup advantage.
Here's a run with Mixon. And they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
To me, that's a terrific run on 1st and goal at the 3. They got 2 yards. I'd line right back up and give it to him again.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals have got it on cruise control.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Second quarter in Cleveland. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Getting set to go again here, Teddy Bridgewater coming back onto the field. In second quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Bridgewater now on 2nd down. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And keep your eye on that man. 4 sacks last week, 1 there here in the second quarter. He can be so disruptive.
So what was he doing in the first quarter? What was going on?
Took a nap.
I think he tried to lull him to sleep a little bit. Like, yeah, okay, maybe you've got me this week. No longer. And you know, with the 4 sacks last week, it's obvious he gets his in flurries.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They run again on first down. Cook. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
A give. This is Cook. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. The Vikings on third down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Ryan Quigley now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run again with Bernard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
That changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
Play clock winding down. Now Bernard. And down he'll go at the 25. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The play clock's running down. Punting now is Huber as he sends it away. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit right there around the 35-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that. On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Give them 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn them a fresh set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice game.
7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now
Now the Georgia Southern man. This is Jerick McKinnon. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground.
They run once more with McKinnon. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There is no doubt that Geno Atkins is really strong and stout at the point of attack. But I love his suddenness, the ability to make plays, to be in one spot, and then he's gone. And into the offensive backfield, he's a heck of a player.
And they're a big TFL, tackle for loss.
Hard to believe that his father, Gene Atkins, was an NFL defensive back. He's bred this big defensive tackle.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. Always got some breathing room. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's got Giovanni Bernard. Nothing but green grass. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Giovanni Bernard, 56 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting. This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now a run with Cook. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Bridgewater from the gun on 3rd down. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. And the Ravens have opened it up a bit, leading by a couple of scores. Terrence West, over 120 yards now on the ground. He's chipped in a couple of touchdowns as well. And heading back out there, Giovanni Bernard getting ready to go again. He has been a touchdown machine. It has been enjoyable to watch.
And the scoreboard continues to light up as a result of his efforts. He's been a blast, though. Every time you look up, you just figure if he's got the ball in his hands, he's going to end up in the end zone. It's been that kind of a game for him.
Absolutely. Now you just keep waiting for more. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
Well, we stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now a carry for Bernard. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Play clock winding down. Back now at beautiful new U.S. Bank Stadium. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The play clock's running down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says,
looking for his tight end read, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And out now come the Vikings. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Second down, Bridgewater. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. The rookie from Kansas State, Jordan Willis. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Well, they were coming out of the 4-3 defensively. Pressure coming off that right side from the DN.
And that's the blind side of most quarterbacks. If you're right-handed, that's the side you don't see quite as well. And that's why you rely on your left tackle, maybe your highest-paid offensive lineman, to take care of you. In this situation, that didn't happen.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Fielded at the 20. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Bengals getting set to go. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their...
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. No gain there as he kept it himself at second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get them home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. And the Bengals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Bernard. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Time running out here on the play clock. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Able to slither by. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Great change up there on the route and got that inside release, made it a successful pitch and catch.
Well, the first thing you want to do is have him thinking that you're going outside, make a move in that direction. Then you really don't run the route against the whole body of the defender. You're running against a half of him, and the inside half, and he took it right across his face, got inside, and won that route in a big way.
Holding offense.
That's on the veteran guard, Alex Boone. 10-yard penalty there on first down, so now 1st and 20. From the gun, Bridgewater. And his throw's going to be incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there, but still in a big hole. 3rd and long.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
3rd and long for Bridgewater. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. Bridgewater. The swing pass caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Jarius Wright, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to get a score back. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. They are into 4th and Buffalo. The Dolphins, they have extended their lead in that one. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. Well, the Vikings are pointing. They've got it. Minnesota football. So the onside kick is recovered. And, you know, I always thought, Charles, as someone who didn't play these positions, that going over the middle as a receiver or trying to recover an onside kick, those are 2 very tough things to do.
It takes a lot of fortitude to put yourself in that position, but you have to do it in order to help your team win.
Unable to recover it, it costs him. The kicking team gets the football here. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, add that play to his resume reel because he went to the Pro Bowl last year. That's how you go to the Pro Bowl. You make plays like that, big-time penetration, and throw people for losses.
And he's brought down. 19 yards that time for number 19. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Bridgewater to throw it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
2nd down here after the incomplete pass. Bridgewater now. And Diggs has it. Takes this to the 32, maybe the 31. Defensively rallying to the ball after the nice move. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
All-start offense.
Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
The Vikings on third down. They've been stymied left and right. Converted only one time. This is 3rd and 9. And again, it's Bridgewater. This one complete to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And he finds the tight end, Reed. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now they got to get to the line quickly. They'll throw again. Bridgewater. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. First down throw for Bridgewater. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. And now Bridgewater is still down. Looks like he was shaken up there. We'll check on his status when we get back. So Bridgewater forced to the sidelines. And they'll turn things over here to the backup to see if he can dig him out of this hole. Now Bradford. A dump down to McKinnon. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Now it's the backup Keenum. And that is incomplete. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. A 33-yarder from the left hash. And his kick here is good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, in the grand scheme of things, it's likely not going to matter much, but at least they get themselves 3 points closer to respectability.
And I don't know that they're going to feel a whole lot better about things because they've clearly been outplayed all game long. But, hey, no reason not to take the points when the opportunity presents itself.
Fielded about a yard deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They have the big cushion here in the final stages of this one. I don't know if there's any better feeling than being up big on the road.
There really can't be, because for a team to go on the road and win in the NFL, that's huge to begin with. But just think about all the preparation that went into it. When they first started talking about this game, leading up to it during the week, going on the road, unfamiliar city, obviously, unfamiliar hotel.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. They are in the 4th in Buffalo. The Dolphins continuing to add on. They are really rolling. If they indeed win, it would be win number 9 on the season. Novak out now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback.
And now out comes Minnesota. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right?
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Carlos Dunlap in there to drop him, and he continues to wreak havoc in offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. To throw on second down is Keenum. And the pressure gets to him again. Carlos Dunlap in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Watch right, watch right.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run.